Are you a working mom with goals? You have a vision for yourself. However, you are overwhelmed with a never-ending to-do list, and you just can't find time in your day to work on your goals, to work on your vision. In this video, I'm going to be sharing how you can build a routine to give you structure, give you organization, and just give you peace with planning and executing your God-given vision. Hey Queen, welcome back to my channel. My name is Janelle Renee. I am your faithologist, certified faith-based business mindset coach. And on this channel, I encourage you to step out on faith, and I equipped you with the tools necessary to level up your life so that you can begin operating in your highest potential. If that is something you're interested in, be sure to stick around and subscribe. As you can tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about how you can finally build a routine to build structure and organization in your life, and allows you to finally achieve the vision and the goals that you have for your life. I know what it's like to have big goals, to have big dreams, but just never finding any time on your calendar to execute it. I've been there, and I want to give you the 5 steps that I did to be able to structure a routine to help me to achieve my dream life. Let's dive into tip number 1. So tip number 1 is to audit. You want to really sit down, right? And really take into account like everything that you're doing from every half hour. Where are you spending your time? Doing an audit of where your time is going will surprisingly shock you. You're going to find so much time in your calendar because you're going to be more aware of like where your time is going. And so I was speaking to a client the other day, and she was telling me how, she has big goals, right? She has big goals. She wants to go back to school. And literally, I'm like, okay, so what are you doing? Like after you drop the kids off from school, after you drop the kids to school, what are you doing? And she's like, you know what? I'm like scrolling. I'm literally on my phone scrolling on TikTok. And I said, what? And she's just like, yeah. She's like, I'm so distracted with TikTok. And I'm like, all right, this is what you're going to do. You're going to delete TikTok from your phone. Like, she was actually so shocked because she realized like she downloaded the TikTok app in 2020 and we are now in 2024. And so that's 4 years of her just like scrolling. And she's had this dream to go back to school for a while now. And it's just like, wow, like just in that quick audit of just where you are spending your time and just being really honest and open and transparent with yourself. Like no guilt, no shame, no guilt, no shame. That is from the enemy, right? You want to just become aware of this, right? Just audit yourself, audit and see, okay, where am I spending my time? What am I doing throughout my day? And how can I allot more time to the goals that I have? And so I want you to do this for like, I would say maybe, a week. Just do it for a week just to see like, okay, where's my time really going? On Sunday, what am I doing? On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, where is my time going? And so I want you to just audit the time, and you'll be surprised. You'll be so surprised at the windows of time that you actually find you're being distracted as opposed to being able to work on your goals. You want to do this audit to just see like, how are you really managing your time, right? What are your patterns? What are your routines? And so this will bring you so much awareness. And so that is literally the first step, is to audit. Now we're going to jump into tip number 2. So tip number 2 is to assess, right? After you audit, now you want to assess. You're going to ask yourself these self-assessment questions, right? Just like my last client, you're going to ask yourself like, who or what is causing me to be distracted? Where is my time going? You're going to really assess, do that work to ask yourself, where is my time going? Who is distracting me? What is distracting me? You're also going to ask yourself like, okay, what time of the day do I have the most energy? Am I a morning person, or do I have more of a pep in my energy like towards the evening? There are some people that are just like early birds, and then there are some people that are night owls. And so we're all different, but it's important for you to evaluate that, right? Just assess that and say, where do I find that I have the most energy? Do I find like I'm just more productive in the morning, or am I more productive in the evening? Then you want to ask yourself, what in my schedule can I outsource, right? If you're feeling overwhelmed, like you have too much on your plate, you can really if you have children that are old enough, you can outsource, you can delegate tasks, you can give your kids chores, you can literally hire a nanny or hire a house cleaner, or you can outsource so much. One thing that I find that's really helpful for me is I don't typically go out to the grocery stores. I have my groceries delivered to me, and that is such a time saver, and these are just small, subtle things that you can do just to save some time. Oftentimes, we have to spend a little money to get some time back. Just assess to see, okay, where can I outsource some things, right? If maybe you can do a laundry service, I'm just saying, there's so many options out there, and if you find you are pressed for time, it's important to just do that. Just analyze and see where in your calendar, what on your to-do list can you truly outsource or delegate, or even as a business owner, what can you automate, right? What can you be automating? And then another question you want to ask yourself is, what tasks am I saying yes to that you really should be saying no to? Oftentimes, you can people please, and it can literally take up all your time, and then your goals are pushed on the back burner because you're looking to say yes to everyone else. And then that same question, vice versa, what are some things that you are saying no to that you really should be saying yes to? There are a lot of things that you can be doing, especially as a business owner, creating content rather than scrolling on TikTok for hours, right? You can literally be creating. What else? Some other things you should be saying yes to. Maybe reading more books, researching, spending your time instead of listening to music, listen to a podcast, listen to a YouTube University to learn and to grow and to expand your mind. Audible books. I love Audible books. There are so much things that you should be saying yes to that you're saying no to. And you just have to do an assessment and just look at those things. And again, no judgment. You're not going to feel guilty. This is a part of the process. And so literally all it takes is one decision to just shift. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're going to probably default back into that, but you catch yourself and you're saying, no, I am not showing up as that person. I am now becoming a new person, and I'm creating better habits, better routines, and better systems that's going to allow me to achieve the goals that I want to achieve sooner. So that was tip number 2, assess. Now we're going to jump into tip number 3. So tip number 3 is to analyze. You want to analyze your God-given vision and the vision focused goals to achieve that vision. All right. And so it's so important to really just have a clear picture, have clear direction with where you are going. All right. And so this is why I literally live by my clear purpose roadmap. Not only does it help you to discover your purpose, but it also allows you to retrieve your God-given vision and then reverse engineer your vision, breaking it down into yearly goals, quarterly goals, monthly goals, weekly goals, all the way down into daily tasks, daily things that you have to do every single day. All right. And so you want to analyze your goal, analyze the vision focused goals and the things that you need to get done to achieve those goals, reverse engineering it step by step, breaking it down. And so you have a clear path, clear direction on the steps that you need to do to achieve your vision focused goals. All right. So analyze the tasks that you need to complete to achieve that vision focused goal, and just really document it. Really sit down and think about those tasks, right? And my CPR framework, it literally helps you to do that. Okay. My planner. And so that is step number 3. Now we're going to jump into step number 4. So tip number 4 is to arrange. You want to just arrange your week. Okay. You want to really plan out your week. You're going to go week by week. Like I said, you're going to reverse engineer that big vision, break it all the way down. And weekly, you're going to set a planner for your week. You're going to set a plan for your week. And what you're going to do is, and I'm telling you, this is truly a game changer. You are going to systemize your week. Okay. And so you want to arrange systems. So what are you arranging? So on Mondays, I would say on Sundays, you're going to sit and you're going to use your planner, and you are going to plan out your entire week. On every Sunday, you're going to sit down for an hour, plan out your week. That hour, like, I know you're probably not going to want to do that, but I'm telling you, sitting down for an hour and planning out your week saves you so much time throughout your week, because you're not like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? What am I not doing? You have direction, you have order, you have structure. And so it's important to plan on Sunday nights. Plan out your week. So you want to systemize your week. You want to know exactly what days of the week you are going to be cooking, what days of the week you're going to be doing a deep clean, what days of the week you're going to be doing laundry. Like, systemize it all out so you know, and there's structure. So you're like, okay, I know on Saturdays I do a deep clean. Like, all throughout the day, all throughout the week you're cleaning, but on Saturdays is when you're really doing like a deep clean, right? You're mopping, you're sweeping, you're doing all the things, right? Maybe on Saturdays when you do laundry, like, structure your days, know what days are for what. And so this just brings a lot of order throughout your household. Your kids already know, like, okay, mommy cooked on Sunday, so that means there's leftovers on Monday. Like, your kids will know. They'll get in a swing of it, and it just brings so much structure and just so much rhythm and routine to your week on a weekly basis. Plan out your meals. That's another one. Plan your meals out. Know exactly what you're cooking. So for me, I know exactly what I'm cooking week to week. And I order my groceries on Sundays. I order my groceries on Saturdays, and they'll either be delivered on Saturdays, or I'll order it like later on Saturday and it's delivered on Sunday. Like, I know what I'm cooking for that week, so I can order my groceries, have it delivered, and I know I have the ingredients that I need for the week. It saves me time. It saves me money, because I'm not going to the grocery store and like buying all these impulsive things, right? And it just brings a lot of structure and organization. And so I just want to just leave you with that tidbit. There are so many systems that you can begin to implement so that it just brings order and structure to your entire life, right? It brings structure to your week, and ultimately week by week, it just brings so much structure to your life. You're not going to be all over the place anymore. You're going to have like a smooth system for your home. And so that was tip number 4. Now we're going to jump into the final tip number 5. Okay, so you went through the process, you audited, you assessed, you analyzed, and you arranged. Now it's time to activate. All right, you're going to activate. This is where you are going to truly take those things that you know are the needle movers in your business, the needle movers to achieving your vision focused goal. You're going to take those needle moving tasks that you identified in the analyze phase, and you are going to make those tasks top priority. Okay, so for example, in the daily planner portion to this, there's a portion here. You are literally going to identify the top 3 needle moving activities to achieve your goals. And those are what you're going to be focusing on first and foremost. Okay. And so those top 3 things, you're going to time block an area in your day where you're going to get those tasks done. Those tasks are the ones that are going to get you to your goal and your dream faster. And I also want to encourage you to make sure that you are planning your day from the night before. Okay, plan your day from the night before. This way, when you wake up in the morning, you know exactly what you're doing. You're not iffing and butting and thinking, should I do this or should I do that? No, you already know exactly what you're doing. You are prioritizing those needle moving tasks first. And I want to encourage you to habit stack. You want to habit stack so that you are pairing the tasks that you need to do on top of something that you're already doing. So for example, the client that I said, when she did the first step, which was to audit her time, when she realized that after she took her kids to school, she would go home and just scroll on TikTok. I was like, no, what you're going to do is, first of all, we deleted the app, right? Like I said, but then she's going to take that time, and those 2 hours that she would have just been spending scrolling on TikTok, you're going to take that time to now study. That is going to be your block of time. That's going to be your time block. From 9 a.m., you drop the kids to school. At 8:30, you get home, you maybe eat some breakfast, and then you lock in. And you take from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., 2 hours, 2 solid hours just to sit and really study. lock in. Take that time to lock in. And so what are some habits that now you can, what are some tasks that you can now like stack on some habits that you already have, a routine that you already have, and just make it flow in your day, right? Make it flow throughout your day. And so now she had a system, right? She had a system where she's like, okay, she can't do it on Tuesdays and Thursdays because of prior engagements, but on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, those were going to be her 3 study days throughout the week. And so what are the needle moving tasks that you can start to implement to achieve the goal that you want to achieve? And one other thing I really wanted to add in is just make sure that you are taking care of you. Make sure that as you're planning out your week, you are taking some time throughout your day to really just pour into yourself. You want to make sure that you are well-rounded. And so not only are you working towards your goals, you also want to make sure that you are feeding yourself spiritually, you're feeding yourself mentally, and you're feeding yourself physically. You're allotting time in your calendar, in your schedule to spend time with God, right? Because that is first and foremost the most important thing you can ever do in your life. Like that's really truly the biggest thing that you can do. And so you want to make sure that you are setting time aside for that, okay? So that you are feeding yourself spiritually. You want to take time also to feed yourself mentally, doing something that allows you to process your thoughts, whether it be journaling, whether it be a therapist, whether it be speaking with a trusted friend. Take the time to make sure that you are doing the things that you need to feed yourself mentally. And then third, you want to make sure that you are eating well-rounded meals, right? No processed foods, no junk, not too many sweets. You know, make sure you're eating a lot of greens. Make sure you're drinking your water. Make sure you're exercising, right? Make sure you are resting. That is so important. So make sure that when you are implementing your routine, you are allotting time for just well-rounded, holistic wellness, because you can really get burnt out trying to achieve your goals if you are not taking care of you. And so that was tip number 5, activate. So now we're going to just do a quick recap. So tip number 1 was to audit. Tip number 2 was to assess. Tip number 3 was to analyze. Tip number 4 was to arrange. And tip number 5 was to activate. Let me know in the comments which one of these tips resonated with you the most. I pray that these 5 tips that I shared with you will really help you to build out your routine and to achieve your dreams and to achieve your goals. I am rooting for you always. And before I go, I'm going to tell you, just as God told me, put one foot in front of the other, step out on faith, and trust God for the next step. I'll see you in the next video.